toxic masculinity.
And there you go. There's our intro. I don't know what you call it. Bumper, something like that. Yeah, I'm trying to be more professional, but unfortunately it's not happening. we are still the least professional show on YouTube, and I proudly hold up that mantle. Okay, so why don't we just get into it? Let's see here. Yeah. Why don't we just get into it here? What is the first story?
Well, the first story is just two words. Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle. Yes, that's the big story of the day. And I'm going to say this, I'm actually going to repost tonight. I was going to post my Joe Rogan analysis of the Joe Rogan / Tim Pool / Jack Dorsey Twitter video thing. I've posted two of these analyses. If you haven't seen them on YouTube, they're really quite good. The comments are pretty positive. But I watched this video, this Joe Rogan video that he did with Jack Dorsey a little over a year and a half ago maybe. And I realized that we have so much more context with which to view this interview now, a year and a half later, to look back and to analyze everything that was said by both Jack Dorsey and especially his censorship czar, which is what my name for her, Vijaya. her actual name is I think it's, what is it? It's Vijaya is how she pronounced it. But phonetic, I couldn't find out how she pronounced it, so I kept pronouncing it Vijaya. And as I'm watching the video and I'm taking notes and I'm writing the script for it, I just got more and more angry with her for all of the very obvious lies she was telling. So throughout the video, I very aggressively call her Vijaya, which kind of sounds like part of the female anatomy. And that had actually occurred to me, but it hadn't bothered me enough to go back and try to figure out what, if there was some kind of alternative way to pronounce her name. So I just kept, every time I would do a bit, I would be like, tell us more lies, Vijaya. I was so angry with her. And people were like, every time you say Vijaya, it sounds like you're screaming a swear word at her, calling her something, part of the female anatomy. But anyway, so I did this 3 video segment about how biased Twitter is. And the third segment was going to come out tomorrow morning. But because of this Meghan Markle interview and because it was such a big deal, I feel like people should get a little bit more context around who Meghan Markle is, how she fits in with the royal family, the whole history of that. So I'm, in fact, going to repost my previous video on Meghan Markle tonight. So if you guys want to see that tomorrow morning, I think it's... in a way, I'm kind of exploiting the fact that this is popular right now in the news, but this is what you do, right? If something's popular, you put something out for people who want to see it, because I do think the video that I produced is quite good on Meghan Markle, and it didn't do very well. It got very low numbers. So I feel like I put this out, and hopefully it'll do better. I don't think a lot of people actually saw it the first time I posted it. But anyway, let's have a look here at this article by the Federalist, because Meghan Markle did this interview with Oprah, and I didn't watch it, but my brother did because his wife did. And he wrote me and he said, Chris, you got to watch this interview. It's anything that you could have imagined. It's 1,000 times worse. And everybody's talking about this interview. I still haven't seen it, but Valeria watched it. And so we're going to get her take on it in 1 second. First, I'm going to read a little bit of this from the Federalist, their take, which I think is probably pretty good. Says, Meghan Markle wants to be a victim because our culture rewards it. And this is exactly a point that I made a couple of days ago, I think, either on this show or maybe in a video that I did for Mr. Reagan. I can't remember, but I made this whole point about how... Oh, no, it was a video I made for Mr. Reagan about how it was called The Joy of Blackface. If you haven't seen it, it's one of my most popular videos recently, mainly because I think some leftists are getting wind of it and they're complaining about it. So it's got over 200,000 views now. It's doing pretty well for me. But I made a video about how if being black in America is such a curse and being white is such a benefit, then why are so many white people pretending to be black in America right now? You've got all these people trying to be black, trying to be Hispanic, even like Kamala Harris, who's who's Indian, culturally Indian. Her mother's Indian. Her father's Jamaican. She's trying to make this association with Black Americans like she's a Black American. She's not Black. I mean, she's Black in the sense that she has some African ancestry, but she didn't grow up like in Compton. She grew up. I mean, she was born and raised in L.A. for the first few years of her life, but she went to high school in, I think, Montreal, Canada. I mean, she's as white as I am culturally, but she pretends to have this connection to the Black community, which I really don't think is legitimate at all. But she does that because it pays to be Black in America, right? It pays to be not just Black, but a Black victim. If you're Black, like our friend Errol, right? Errol Weber, or Major Williams. If you're Black, like, and you don't pretend to be a victim, then it's a lot different than if you're Black in America and you go around saying, "Oh, I'm so oppressed because of my Blackness," right? You can get a lot of mileage out of that on the left. Obviously, with conservatives, we kind of laugh at you and scoff at you, but on the left, they actually do reward you for being a Black victim or saying you're a Black victim. And Meghan Markle has obviously figured this out, and so now she's doing it. I mean, I think she's always done it, if I'm honest, but let's have a look here. Meghan Markle wants to be a victim because our culture rewards it. On this episode of the Federalist Radio Hour, Federalist staff editor Madeline Osborne joins culture editor Emily Jahinsky. Sorry, Emily, I don't know how to pronounce your name there. To break down Oprah's interview with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and the allure of the royal family to Americans. They need a way to shut the door on their life in the United Kingdom, and they kind of needed the clashing. They needed the excuse. They needed it to be big, and they needed to be the victims. Of course, Osborne said. I don't want to say everything that Meghan said about her mental health or the things that they said about her baby. I don't want to say all that was a lie, but I do think it is helping them to shut the door on their lives there and to rebrand themselves in the USA. This is kind of somewhat similar to, and if you want to watch this on the Federalist, that's probably a good listen. I didn't actually listen to the podcast, but I will say this is similar to what I was talking about in my Meghan Markle video that I'm going to put up again tomorrow morning, which you can watch. It's a lot of it is about how she pretends to be some kind of a victim, and she is a princess. She's got a life that so many women around the world would just be desperate to have. But because she's been privileged since she's a little child, she's been an actress, right? She's been in commercials and TV shows and stuff. She's always been treated like a beautiful young woman. She's got this, this look, which we used to call ethnically ambiguous, which was very popular in Hollywood at the time she was coming up. And, now I suppose she would just call herself Black because ethnically ambiguous doesn't have as much cachet anymore. So now we have this this girl who grew up in Hollywood royalty, growing up with the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, being treated like a princess. Now you're right there. I told you got to keep it in line with the leg. Now she's got to deal with being a good one. That's great. That's fantastic. Shall we watch Valeria struggle with the microphone? This is quite fun. All right, I'll switch back while she tries to figure that out. But now she's got to be a princess with responsibility. If you're a Hollywood princess, you have no responsibilities. There are no consequences to being bratty on set or being a little bit late for something. None of that matters. But if you're is this a complete disaster?
Yes.
Do I have to come over and fix it? All right, Valeria's. One moment, please.
I don't know how that happened.
So we get over. There you go. Now talk into the camera. So Valeria, well, you can't actually because you don't have a microphone now.
I don't think anybody can.
Well,
Can you even fix it?
yeah, I can fix it, but it's gonna take some work.
1 minute, guys. 1 minute.
This has happened before. I need a fork. To fix it.
I mean, I can talk like this. It's fine. I can just hold it.
Yeah, you can just hold it the whole time.
Yeah, I can hold it. It's fine.
Thank fix it. Just give me... All right, ladies and gentlemen, so this is, once again, the least professional show on YouTube. I blame my wife. She broke this off once before. I fixed it. Now she's broken it off again. Fixing it again. It's all right. It's just, this is a piece of plastic, so... Oh my goodness. Can we even get it to work here? Let's see. There we go. All right. Let's have, okay, try not to destroy it this time, please. Okay, I think we got it, folks. I think we've got it. All right. All right.
Okay, I'm just not gonna touch it.
Do you need it lowered?
I don't want to touch it.
You can lower it. You should be able to lower it. You gotta unscrew that big one, and then pull it down a little bit, and then screw it back tight.
Can I
again.
just do like this?
There you go. All
Okay.
right.
Good.
Sorry for that, ladies and gentlemen. Now you get see a little bit of why our show is the worst show on YouTube. All right, so now for the moment we've all been waiting for. Valeria,
Yes.
you watched this Meghan Markle interview. What did you think?
Well, I understand why she did it.
Well, she did the interview.
Yeah. Make money, even though in the beginning of the show they said, I didn't get paid for it. There is no limit of questions. I'm sure somehow there was a rumors about $9 million, but not specifically for the interview, maybe for like, I don't know, using her name or something. I don't know, but I don't believe that she didn't get paid first.
Or even if she's not getting paid, it keeps them in the news. It raises their profile.
That's her goal, even though she said, oh, we want privacy. We want like quiet, normal life, and
yeah, if you want privacy, you don't go on Oprah.
Yeah, she's doing everything the opposite. But I don't see why Harry did this. Harry, that's how.
Yeah, Harry. Yeah.
Harry. Sorry, Harry, for pronouncing your name wrong.
I know he does watch this.
Okay.
Thumbs up, Harry.
Because what he said, he completely destroyed his relationship with his family.
Do you think so? What did he say specifically that was really egregious?
He wasn't really clear when he was answering questions. I mean, Oprah is great questions. Meghan Markle was also like straight answering, but Harry, he wasn't even prepared.
Right, because Meghan Markle is a trained actress. She's been acting since she was a child. She knows how to deal with press. You'd think that he would too, though, since he grew up with media. But he doesn't do media junkets quite in the same way that an actress does, right? So if you're an actor in Hollywood, you go to these media junkets where you get 30 reporters asking actors questions, and the actors are just sitting there with the posters behind them, and then you get reporter after reporter coming in and asking various questions, and they really get trained to deal with reporters and talk to reporters. And
I mean, Harry was a privilege that Oprah called him privilege because he's a prince. He grew up in the palace.
Yeah.
Wasn't he like trained to behave and talk and a good education?
Sure, probably not quite with the same emphasis as his brother.
No, but he said stuff like he was trapped, but he didn't know that he was trapped, but he was trapped.
Right.
And Meghan somehow rescued him. Okay, fine, maybe that's true. And he also said about Diana that family didn't like her, something about.
This reminds me a lot of women who will accuse someone of sexual harassment many years later, and they'll say, "At the time, I thought it was so funny, and I just thought he was so charming and such a gentleman, and I thought we were flirting and everything was great. It wasn't until later when my friends told me that this was sexual harassment that I realized actually I was in a terrible situation. It's like, no, you weren't. No, you weren't. You were just flirting with your boss, and it was fun, and everybody's having a good time. And now some annoying feminist has told you that you need to be offended, and now you're offended, right? Or like, like I grew up with one of my good friends was black, right? And I've never had an issue with it, but I could imagine. Oh no, there was another girl. Actually, there was a girl that I was also friends with who's black, and later on, she did say something that I said was racist. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, that I'm not a racist. You're like one of my best friends. What are you talking about? And she's like, well, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she made it clear that what you said was racist. I'm like, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. We're friends. We're joking around about stuff. You can say stuff amongst friends that maybe you can't say, among strangers because they might take it the wrong way or something like that. Specifically because your friends should know how to take it. But you get these people who come in and they'll explain to you, oh, actually, your life was really bad because X, Y, and Z, but you may not have realized because when you were in it, you didn't have the perspective. But that's how you, like, F with people's heads, right? That's how you mess with people's minds. You twist them against other people that they should love or care about, and they make them, it's called gaslighting, right? It's like, don't believe your actual experiences, believe what I'm telling you your experiences were, right? That's what gaslighting is. And so I think people have been gaslighting Harry and telling him that, his life was so terrible when in fact, Harry, go live in the Appalachian Mountains for a while with some poor, like, meth head white people, right? Everybody always says, oh, black people are poor, black people are poor. A lot of white people are poor too, all right? Go live with some poor white folks in the mountains in America for a week. Come back and tell me that you were trapped. I was trapped. I was trapped with my billions of dollars. Anyway,
And
sorry.
Megan also said she was somehow trapped.
Uh-huh.
And she was thinking about suicide and stuff, which is completely BS. Okay. And she also said that she was trapped. They didn't have her too much to do because she was unexperienced.
Yeah.
And also they like talked about COVID and stuff. And
what do you mean? Like she didn't have as many responsibilities as
because they didn't like. She didn't know anything.
Kate Middleton. Kate Middleton would have been doing more stuff than she did.
Yeah.
So she's complaining that she was trapped and given less responsibilities.
Yeah, and while COVID, we were trapped in a tiny apartments, and she was trapped in a huge palace with gardens, and
oh no! She was trapped in many palaces. They have many palaces. They don't just have one.
So hard.
They could have gone to any of their many palaces.
Yeah, but it sounded
with hundreds of rooms.
It sounded they locked her in one tiny room.
Did they?
It sounded like it.
I highly doubt that she was actually physically trapped in one tiny room. I really highly doubt that. She probably could have gone to a variety of different places. You trying to sneeze? You want me to switch the camera to me so that you can blow your nose or something?
No, it's fine.
All right, we'll switch it back to your beautiful face. And she said that basically that the royal family was racist against her.
They said that the royal family was racist against the child that she was carrying back then.
Yeah.
Because they were discussing his skin tone.
Right.
Potential, because they didn't know how dark is he gonna be, I guess.
Yeah. But did you notice that they didn't actually say specifically what was said about the kid's skin tone?
Yeah,
it might have been just basically like, I wonder if he's gonna come out with a tan.
Well, first,
or something like that.
Oprah asked this question many times. In the beginning, was just Megan.
Yeah.
Where are you going? I can't talk when you're not looking at me. Yes.
Really?
I'm reading comments. And you're a professional and I'm not.
I'm listening. I'm just changing the brightness.
So, and Oprah asked this question at least like 2 times. First with Megan in the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And when Harry sit down and start talking, she also asked him, and he just said, I'm not gonna answer this. It's like too personal or something.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't say anything. But I mean, I don't think, maybe it happened, but I don't think, I mean, royal family, they let her in.
Yeah. They welcomed her
They
as...
were welcome. Yeah, she said they were nice. They were welcome.
I've never heard her say anything about them talking about race ever until this
And it's
particular
like
interview.
21st century, your guys. How can you discuss
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
child's
Had
fetus?
had the Queen told Harry, I don't think you should bring, a black American woman into the family. Okay, maybe then she would have some kind of basis for what she's saying. But that was never said. Right? It was understood. I assume that it was understood to some degree that once Harry married this half-black girl that he would have a quarter-black child. I don't think that like was something that they were like, oh, you know what I just thought of? This child is going to be partly black. Good Lord.
Well, they said they on the show that they're having a girl. So
they're having another child. Okay.
She's pregnant.
She's pregnant. Okay, yeah.
And she's gonna deliver a baby in summertime, I think.
I thought she just had the COVID-15. It's a joke, sorry.
And now Palace will talk. Oh, what about this girl's skin tone?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually benefits them to create controversy. It benefits them to create some kind of, news, because guess who's talking about it?
Everyone.
Toxic masculinity.
Everyone
Even we're
is
talking about it.
this. Everyone.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on because I got a whole video about Meghan Markle if you want to catch up on that.
Yeah, we just spent 30 minutes on Meghan Markle.
Yeah, I blame you for that. I don't know why, but it's your fault. Because you like that stuff. I don't really keep up with it except for the video that I made about it. So let's move on to the next story, shall we?
Okay.
What do we got?
Urban Dictionary bans blue anon. Anon?
Blue and on.
Blue and on. I messed it up.
You messed it up.
You taught me how to pronounce it.
You worked so hard on it before
I
the
forgot,
show.
and I forgot.
All right, well, let's have a look at this. I love this story. Toxic Masculinity. Weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.